On Sunday, June 25th, over 150 Santa Cruz community members and Land Trust supporters got together to celebrate the launch of the Land Trust's new 5-year conservation roadmap. This roadmap charts out the initiatives and projects that will shape the Land Trust's work across the county. We're excited to share a few highlights from the event. In this clip, we're joined by Sam Cooley, grandson of Diane Porter Cooley, as well as Land Trust Director of Land Protection, Barry Baker, as they talk about the Land Trust's second strategic priority, protecting and managing working lands to address climate change and promote environmental sustainability.
So the Porter family immigrated to California in the 1850s, and they acquired some property in Pajaro, and then by the time I was born, we had about 300 acres left. We had those hills as you're driving towards Las Lomas on the left-hand side. And it was my great-grandmother who donated it to the Nature Conservancy. And that's so it could be transferred to the Elkhorn Slough Foundation to prevent development. It's some of the last high ground in Las Lomas, so it was a prime spot for more housing. And so hopefully for the remainder of my life and into the future, that'll be protected. At the same time, when my great-grandmother Bernice passed away, we did our first conservation easement with the Land Trust, and that was for the cattle ranch out off of Thompson Road in Watsonville. And one really important piece of that is that in the county was planning a new dump to replace Buena Vista, and that was in the top 5 on their list. But gratefully, with the Land Trust and the conservation easement and some really loud, important neighbors, the hills are still there and there's no dump. And then in the mid-2000s, we transferred the rest of the farmland into conservation easements. And once again, for the rest of my life, that ground will be farmed. It will not be developed, and it'll keep Watsonville and Santa Cruz County what it was. So I'm going to pass it to Barry, but thank you.
Back when I used to do easement monitoring, I used to do ride-alongs with Diane Cooley all through the Cooley farmlands. And I used to joke I should really budget more time for those visits because along with the easement monitoring, it's really an inside personal tour of ag history in the Pajaro Valley. Something I always really cherished. So thank you to Sam and to Diane. The Cooley properties really kicked off our ag conservation easement program. And back in 2008, when we acquired those properties, we've gone on to protect up to 2,100 acres of prime farmlands in the Pajaro Valley. This is something we continue on expanding on, and in this new 5-year strategic plan, we'll be protecting an additional 500 acres by 2030. In addition to this, we're also working to protect lands that are maybe more unsuitable for farming and that will be more impacted by climate change and sea level rise. We're really looking into the lower Watsonville Slough and Pajaro River to protect lands that are going to be at risk from sea level rise, and hoping to do wetland restoration and expand wetland habitat along those areas. Along with this, we'll be able to buffer prime farmland inland and keep communities in prime farmland a little bit more protected as that sea level rises. This will be a really new type of project and something we'll be leading the way on with our partners, and hope to set a new model for others to implement throughout the state and throughout the nation as we get more impacted by climate change. I'll be happy to answer more questions, but thank you so much.